Our very last session for not just for today, but for the COP, as the Innovation Zone is closing today. Our last youth voice, she has so many titles I can't even list it all. Merle Liiva, Estonian open water swimmer, ocean ambassador, World Economic Forum front voice for climate, and 5 times Guinness World Record holder. Let's hear what she can tell us about the ocean. I'd like to introduce the interviewer, Thais Maciel, the Communications Director at Island Innovation.
Thank you, Kata. Give her the microphone. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today with Merle Liiva, which is also known as a mermaid, right? Can you please tell us your story and what you're doing here today?
So I'm known around the world as a mermaid because I swim Guinness World Records with a mermaid tail. And I don't use my arms because animals are getting stuck on the fishing nets and plastic and they can't tell the story. And in A Little Mermaid, the mermaid lost the voice, but I think I'm just the voice for the oceans, for the animals, for the kids who are role models in this world right now. And my last record, what is on the book, I swam 50 kilometers, what is 31 miles, and I picked up 35 pounds of plastic. And I really, sadly, didn't have to look the plastic when I broke my Guinness World Record. I just had an arm up front, I was kicking like a mermaid, and I was like, here. Every 5 minutes, I found the plastic. I didn't have to look it, and that's how sad is the situation with our oceans. And I came here to be the mermaid, to bring the awareness to oceans. Sadly, oceans are only protected 2.9% in this world. And if we think about, and you flew here, ocean is everywhere. It's 73% of our planet. But at the same time, our oceans are losing oxygen. 2020, me as a 20-year-old young person from Estonia, I live in Miami now, I saw how oxygen went down to 0 in the ocean, and I had to put ventilator tubes inside the ocean. And I was 29 years old, and this boy is 6 years old, and that's gonna be continuous emergency for this kid. Putting a oxygen ventilator tubes inside the ocean is our future. That's really bad. I mean, we talking about goals and pledges and stuff, but we are 317 weeks away from 2030. I'm scared to see how many times I might have to put the ventilator tube inside the ocean. How many times I come out from the practice and I have plastic all over my swimming suit. It's the reality. And the reality can't be told just pledging. The reality can be told by doing the 1% better, even today. When you're flying back from the COP, don't ask when they give you the plastic cup, don't accept it. Ask better, because you have the voice. You can raise the awareness. And if people are like, oh, sorry, then you say, give me 1 cup per flight. Don't accept it. That's how you can do 1% better today. So I'm really excited to be in Dubai to raise awareness. And tomorrow I'm going to swim 370 meters to raise awareness to our weeks. So hopefully my voice will be heard across the world and to hope.
That's amazing. So we are right now at the island of hope, and you just raised awareness about how the time is running fast, right? And you were just telling me outside that you are also working with women and children so that you can amplify your impact through other people. So I think my question for you now is, what keeps you hopeful? Because the situation is pretty bad, as you said, but what keeps you hopeful for a better future?
Well, I have been last 13 years telling to different governments and different sports organizations that, floods, because of floods and not having swimming skills, we're losing more people, we losing more taxpayers. But what keeps me hopeful is actually the youth, because youth already has become on a place where they telling, I'm not going to spend my money for your crap. That's the reality. If you look in Black Friday, what was just the biggest, shopping event in America, the shopping malls were ghost towns because the young people are thinking 2 steps ahead. What are they going to buy? Is that going to last? Is that really needed in my life? Because I already put in a ventilator tubes inside the ocean. So maybe I should think about the power of my money. And then what happens? The companies have to ask, wait a second. We don't have consumers. We don't have, people left. What are we supposed to do better? So I think that rumble domino effect gonna help the corporations to wake up, because even though Panama Canal, you can't even have ships going through because the water levels are so low because of drought. So in reality, Mother of Earth is asking you to do better business, and it's time to wake up across the world, because you can't be really a social media model and just post nice pictures in Instagram. And soon, nobody's going to pay you because behind your pictures, you kind of deleted all the plastic, what will be behind your bikini pictures. It's time to be a role model. It's time to inspire companies, consumers to do better. And it really has to go across all levels.
That's absolutely right. So what are your expectations for this COP? We just had a previous panel where people were talking about the loss and damage fund, which is very important. But for the oceans, what are your hopes that the discussions that will happen tomorrow, right? At the Blue Zone. So what are you expecting from this COP?
So the loss damage, I come from Estonia. I actually started my NGO being in Estonia through blockchain, logging in, doing 2 PIN codes, accepting the government papers. And when I finished my practice, thanks to blockchain, the government said, congratulations, you have NGO now. We need to include technology, but we need to include technology what works. Estonia has been voting soon 20 years their prime minister and presidents and politicians. How come no other country in the world haven't done that? It's time for all the COP people who are pledging, also including technology. If we do in a loss and damage fund, it has to be in blockchain. And we have to make sure it's the transparent one. I'm not saying crypto is good. I'm talking about blockchain. That's 2 different things. Because also, technology and digital cleanups needs to be done across the world. I mean, I'm telling American friends that you have all these coupons and sales and this, that's just taking more space in a server, electricity and water. So we need to really raise awareness of that. How we can be transparent, that A to B, really the money is moving around. So I'm hopeful for that, and I hope COP is thinking about that, because there is about 639 cables under oceans, so we can have an internet, so we can be a cool people in the digital world. But think about it, we adding more cables underwater just to add, technologies. So really, the COP people need to look into those details as well when they're pledging things. But that means that you have to keep up with the world, and you have to keep up to do 1% better today, because 317 weeks really comes fast.
That's true. You were just telling me about the mermaid law, right? Yes. That people now cannot throw dynamite into the ocean anymore to fish, which I think is absolutely crazy. Can you tell me how you think the movement that you have started can influence policymakers and laws across the globe to make it possible for a sustainable future to happen?
Right. I'm from Estonia, what is 1.3 million country, and I changed the law in Nicaragua that you are not allowed to throw dynamites inside the ocean to catch the fish, or even the plastic straw is part of that law. And it was really easy to explain, is that, listen, if you keep throwing the dynamites, you're not going to build the tourism, you're not going to have mermaids swimming in Nicaragua, and that's old school. Let's go to new school. And they actually listened to me, and that actually changed it, and I actually saw it on myself. So, like I said, the mermaid voice can go far. You just have to believe in yourself, because it's easy to feel about something, but it's important to target the situation now. Even if we feel iffy, do it today, 1% better.
That's huge impact. Do you have any final remarks? This is the last session of the Island of Hope. I'm very happy for you to be here with us. You have any final messages for our online and our audience present here today?
Listen, tackling climate change, tackling ocean issues we all know takes all of us. But you know what? If you don't know how, believe and you will. Just swim through the currents. And honestly, the only opinion in the world where you should listen is a shark opinion. So go for it. Believe in your dreams and share your dreams, because people might know what is your talent. So use your voice.
That's great. Thank you, Merle, for being with us today. Thank you, everybody. I think I'm going to invite Kata back to the stage just to finish this nice program. Thank you, everyone.